All right, so I'm just gonna make this as clear and concise as possible so that we have effective communication. So yeah, straight to the point. For today's video, we are gonna be talking about minimalism or uh, being a minimalist. Since I myself am a minimalist, so yeah, we're just gonna be talking about that today and my own experiences with being a minimalist. So yeah, so starting off, so how do I define being a minimalist? So for me, being a minimalist for me is pretty much not owning things or not owning anything that I am never gonna be like I'm never gonna use every day, or I'm never gonna be using in the future. So if I'm not gonna be using it, on the daily or every day, essentially I'm not gonna be owning that thing, because what's the point? If you're not gonna own, if you're not gonna use something every day, or you plan on using it in the future, then for me there's no point in owning that thing, because it pretty much has no use case per se. So yeah, pretty much for me, I only own things that I'm gonna be using on the daily or every day, or I plan on using in the future, or things that are gonna be helpful for me in the future, essentially. So yeah, I don't own any unnecessary things like what's like a good example? Like here's a random example. Like I don't own any like what do you call those Gundam figures, like action figures or something, or any kind of toys or something like that. Trading cards, like Pokemon trading cards or whatever. Pretty much that I'm not gonna be using. I'm not gonna be owning that, because yeah, here's my logic with that, owning stuff like that, because why would you own stuff that like for example, why would you own a Gundam model when you could have just downloaded a PNG or an image of a Gundam model and saved it on your computer? Like what are you gonna do with a Gundam model? You're just gonna look at it, aside from touching it or anything. But yeah, it's pretty much the same. So my main point is, why would you buy toys? So here's to put it simply. Why would you buy toys when you can just download images of toys and then save them to your computer? But yeah, essentially, I do not own anything that I'm not gonna be using every day, or I will never plan on using in the future, because it pretty much just has no use for me. Not unless it's like important stuff, like a what do you call this? A backup funds, or like money for in case of money for in case of emergencies or something like that. But yeah, anything aside from that, I'm not gonna be owning, because we live in a, what do you call this? We live in a consumerist world. Essentially, we live in a world of consumerism. People just like to buy stuff that they don't need, and I think it's kind of stupid, because people trade their time like on a 9 to 5, and they just buy excessive things that they don't even use. Like for example, just take a look at your house or your room right now. Like, how many of those things are you actually using? Probably not even, I think more than 50% of those things you're not even using. Yeah. So yeah, this is a good example. People just buy things and then they accumulate material stuff in their house that they don't even use. Like it's just all over the house or all over your room, dude. Yeah, like it's more than 50% of those things you probably never use. So what was the point of buying all those things if you're not even gonna be using them, you know? But I'm pretty sure you get my point there. So yeah, for me, when it comes to being a minimalist on minimalism, yeah, I'm just not gonna buy stuff that has no benefit to me, or I'm not gonna be using that every day, or I'm never gonna be using that in the future. Then there's no point in having it, you know? It's like, for example, it's like buying junk food, you know? It's not gonna fill you up, and even worse, it's gonna make you feel like garbage. Yeah. Basically, what I'm saying is that people just buy excessive stuff. It's like junk food. It's excessive. It's excess that you just don't need, you know? And I think junk food is even worse because, you know, you know what junk food does to people. Yeah. And currently, right now, my current situation right now is that I am saving up money for a new house or a new room, which is, in my opinion, more important than, you know, unnecessary expenses. Yeah. I'm gonna be saving up for a new house or a new room, you know. I'm not wasting my money on any, you know, unnecessary expenses. Basically, all my money is going into investments because, you know, land like a house is more of an investment than, you know. But yeah, for me, I would rather invest my money on investments rather than, you know, spending it on unnecessary expenses, especially when you don't have a house of your own, or if you are still living with your parents, then you have other priorities, bro, you know? You can't be wasting all your money on these unnecessary expenses. And yeah, it's the same for, you know, chasing girls and stuff like that. Right now, I don't really prioritize on, you know, dating or anything like that, because I see a lot of these guys, you know, date and they just waste all their time and money with, you know, they just broke up or something like that. But yeah, I have different priorities, you know. So yeah, to recap everything, basically what I'm saying is, for me, as a minimalist, I am just not gonna be buying stuff I'm not gonna be using every day, or I will never use in the future, because I pretty much have no use for it. If something doesn't benefit you, or if you're not using it, then why would you have it, you know? To put it simply, why own things, or why would you own things when you're not, are you even gonna use those things, you know? And growing up, my parents have instilled some values into me to not waste any money, you know? I think living a frugal lifestyle is has its benefits, you know? If you've experienced being living a frugal lifestyle, I think it has its values, you know? Because living a frugal lifestyle like that and being what do you call this? Being efficient with your money, or being efficient with your resources, with your frugal lifestyle, I think there's some value into that, you know? Because it's all just gonna be excess. It's just excess waste, is my point. Yeah. So yeah, living a frugal lifestyle and being efficient with your resources and your money definitely has its values, because you just learn, yeah, you just know how to, you just learn to value money more, is what I'm saying. So yeah. Don't waste your money, guys. Be more practical.